And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time. Victoria 3 has the Great Qing in patch 1.9.5, seeing how high we can get that GDP over the end of the game. Definitely not being quite so effective as I have been in previous patches. Line's not going up quite as fast as it has in the past, though I could imagine it maybe going up a little bit faster as we start to get electrification going and such. I think mainly because we haven't been able to get the PMs on so quickly. China started up with a bit more tech spread mitigation earlier on, and the universities are a little bit less effective. We haven't necessarily built any more than we did in previous runs, so them being half as effective does make a difference. So we just didn't get the PMs going. On the other hand, we've been sort of benefiting from our much more powerful army from a prestige standpoint, so we've been probably sitting in prestige 1 the entire time, but yeah, the GDP hasn't been growing as fast. Railways in 3 months, which most notably is probably going to provide us with electric engines, which will probably be what we try to first electrify at this rate. Yeah, electric engines. And yeah, there's a couple different things we could potentially do for oil consumption. Like, it's starting to spread plastics to us. That's a good choice for consuming oil. And we definitely do have a bunch of space for GDP generating. We can definitely generate more cloth, or more fabric, or not more clothing, more food in the long run. So it's not like we have stuff really standing in the way of us rapidly expanding, I suppose. So there's electric railways. Do I want to do radios next? Construction sector, but yeah, let's push that. That's something that's not going to be gated behind us building something, at least. Productivity-wise. Like radios, yeah, radios would be good if we could build more electric industries. Nitrogen fixation would be good if we can build the oil wells to do the nitrogen for the oil supply. Same thing with the plastics. We're not interested in those two because we're China. Our unemployment's still rising, so we're definitely not building fast enough. That's what I'm feeling like right now. Free company charter, max number of companies. So what do we want our, I think, the last company to be? No, probably don't want it to be the logging one. Could go for the Qing steel conglomerate here. That would allow us to build less steel and improve the state construction efficiency. Yeah, looking at the bonuses, that's probably what I'm leaning towards. Yeah. One thing I haven't been doing, I haven't been using my captain charters. Well, these guys also build. It's the only one I've got. I don't have the newest DLC, so we don't have a lot of the bonuses from the newest DLC. We can go ahead and hand up trade rates all these guys, so they can build and own trade centers as well, in addition to their base buildings. Okay, in preparation for electrification, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put subsidies on the motor industries. Because we're going to think about doing that swap, which is pretty good in the long term. In the short term, might be a little bit finicky. One of the reasons our costs are rising is we are doing more and more welfare, which is one reason we're going to want to very rapidly be building, because we want to be reducing the number of unemployed so that we don't pay them welfare. So I think the plan right now is we're going to electrify, then we're going to build the oil out to support plastics and stuff like that. And then we're going to focus on swapping over to consumer goods to both meet the consumer demands that we've generated by doing old age pensions and to provide jobs, reduce welfare. But first is electrification, which will be a multi-step and fairly long process. Maybe not in game time, but in manual going and clicking time. Tab I used for this one? I think it was this one. No, not that one. That's the everyone tab. That makes sense. States, that one. So we're going to go through the list. The first one I'm going to electrify is all the engine makers. And then we've just got a laundry list of things we're going to work through. I did set to put one power plant everywhere, so there is a bunch of places that are just, because of rebelliousness, right, hard to build in. Waiting for this to hit about 0. Plus, for a day, another week. Some of the consumer demand stuff for the private sector stuff had finished. Or it started up. Yeah. That place is getting harder to build it or something. Wouldn't surprise me if that's actually what's going on. Oh no, that's just more private constructions being added to the private queue. Okay. go through the states one by one. Find our engine makers. Swap to the small size so we can find them better. Actually, how many engine makers do I have? 10 places. Considerable number. Yeah, no, this way, one at a time is going to make more sense. So, no engine maker there, at least not I'm seeing. There's one. So to make the swap, we need 30 power per. 30 per. Pull out a proverbial calculator to make this easier. So 30 times 39 divided by 50. So we want about 24 more power plants here to power the wood industry swamp. We have 34 here, so 34 times 30 divided by 50. Like 21 more power plants here. No engines there. 50 engines there. So that one's easy. That one's just another 30. Nine. So 9 times 30 divided by 50. 6. Beijing probably has some engines. Nope. No engines. Engines. Six. So that's gonna be like 4. Our engine makers are mostly centralized, so it should be actually fairly quick to get through the list. So 9 times 30 divided by 50, 6 more. And of course, as we build these up, we're going to have more supply of power. More supply of power means the civilians are going to want more of the power. You know the gist. Okay, so this one's about 5. No engines. 50 engines here in Yunnan, so Yunnan's going to want 30. Because 50 times 30 divided by 50 is 30. Do that in my head pretty quickly. There's just 3. It's gonna be like 2. Do that math in my head quickly also. Again, like another 2. We can probably... Actually, no, we do need to swap. We need to build another power plant here. Granted, we need to build another power plant because the first one isn't done, but... Should be all of it, unless... Is that just the states? It is just the states. Though I wouldn't expect there to necessarily be a lot of engines in... the places we took over recently. Saying that and finding some in Persia. Apparently Persia was trying to build some engines. To be fair, there was a pretty lucrative market there for a while, so that doesn't surprise me. Okay, I think that's all. And then the next thing we'll do is we're starting to run a little low on bureaucracy. We do have more teching to do, so what we'll do as a buffer between the power plants and the next set for the electrification is put some government admin in. Yep, there we go. And we can see to some degree we'd probably overtax some places. But I think that will be fine. Not going to go min-max or anything. For the government admin. Okay, let's let that build. Walls and white paste. Okay. A little more communist approval. Interest. Okay, so other than Ennui is one of the places we do have those motor plants. So we'll sort of watch this come up through the ranks. We begin the swapping. Yeah, some of the places are just really slow going. It's one of the problems with having low construction engines, I suppose. Got a war with one of the provinces in Tibet. Oh, and we have the glitched province of West Borneo, which doesn't actually have... Oh, actually, nope, they finally left them alone long enough to get some peasants. They got some workers. There's some people actually working here. Be prepared. Okay. I'm not sure what be prepared is for, but, you know, that was an achievement we apparently would have earned right there. Okay, that was monitors. So that's probably all we need to swap the fleet over to metal ships. Okay. You got like a page and a bit of really inefficient constructions going on from all the places we were like, yeah, you're going to want some power. We just sort of shoved a bit of power onto them, or at least trying to shove a little bit of power on them. Pneumatic tools. Suppose we just raise... we just had middle manager's turn on that. That's where the bureaucracy came from. A little more construction throughput is not bad. Is there anything I really want from Society Tech? Eventually, maybe Zeppelins for Mappy. Some more construction locations wouldn't be bad, but... Oh, we could get mass scale trading, which allow the traders to do a little bit their job a little bit better. Yeah, let's tech mass scale trading. So you've got a bunch of power plants that are hiring up right now. Let's go ahead and swap you over to electric engines. Oh, we have access to another tax. Rising 40. I can probably grab 2. Porcelain and liquor? Yeah, probably porcelain and liquor. Population is growing almost at 2% now. Shallow draft solution. Main center throughput wouldn't be bad for a short period of time. Houseware plastics. How much oil do we have? We're exporting some too, so 1.2 exports plus it's about 600 surplus. Anyway, obviously can't swap everything at once because that's the oil industry ain't that strong. Okay, see how that works. Okay, swap another one over. Another big one over. You're probably close enough. We can go ahead and electrify that motor. Okay, same thing with Shaanxi. Of course, this is driving the price of motors down, which apparently at this point we have enough motors. Supposedly. All the power plants we're going to build are going to require motors, so take that with a grain of salt, I think. Worst case scenario, we'll drive the price of motors down in our country and it'll get exported by the trade routes. When did that state being selected? So we can do motor industry swap there. Now, how goes Dynom's progress towards eventually being integrated? 6% chance they'll accept. Let's ask. There we go. Okay, swapping most of the PMs over to our preferred PMs in the new place. So, for example, fertilizers, fig orchards, don't do any hand tools. Oops. I don't think we're ready for the electrification of meat packers, or wait, no, they're on standard. Okay. Do dynamite, dynamite. Okay. We'll sit in clerical for the moment. Administrative clergy. Telephone switchboards everywhere. We can see that there's enough demand for the electrical industries that the civilians are building the electrical industries as well. Issues. What? Oh, Republican, or they went, yeah, Republican on the industrialists. Okay, so we gotta kick the industrialists out of government. It's fine. GDP is rising. Workplace safety just hit 5. So yeah, that should be helping with people not dying. Which is giving us almost 2% population growth with 26.7 million unemployed people. Oh, one thing I'll do to reduce the unemployment. This is also sort of a way to sort of stimulate the economy. We're going to start subsidizing the urban centers. So any place where there's an urban center that isn't hired all the way up, instead of us paying paying welfare to the people, they can go work at the urban center and produce something for all the money we're giving them. Okay, almost done with Yunnan. Which probably means it's a good time to go to Yunnan and say, you can electrify your motor industries. Yeah, oversliding motors a little bit, but our continued expansion is going to be for nothing. You want trade privileges for nothing. I'm not quite on board with that. If I take it off the table, you can't. It's supposed to move on both sides. Okay. Yeah, we'll both take privileges. That's good enough. Now, at the point where I need to put more construction in the construction queue. Okay, so the next thing we're probably going to electrify is probably the thing we have the biggest shortage for, and importing the most of, clothes. So we're going to electrify our clothing industry. And maybe then build some, but yeah, we're going to electrify the clothing industry. So let's find what's probably the best way. Oh, this was the best way we found. I found. To go through it one by one. So textiles to swap to electrics, it is 10 each. So 24 is going to be about 5 more power plants. So then on we, same thing. Except you don't actually have any clothing, apparently. 360, so that's about 7. No clothing there. Shaanxi. No clothing. No clothing. No clothing. 22, so that's about 5. B. Shandong is 3. Eastern High Bay, 7. Beijing, none. Western, 5. The other Western, none. Sichuan, none. None, none. Jiangsu, none. Northern, none. 2. Xi'an. Xi'an. None. Hebei. None. None. This is probably why I've got a shortage of clothing. Going through the list, I'm like, you know, I feel like I should have more clothing than this. Textiles, that's 1. Actually, we'll just go and electrify that one, honestly. Because we've got electricity in the zone. Gansu, none. Nope. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing why we have a shortage. 2 there. Just electrify that one. One that we can just go ahead and electrify. That one we can electrify. It's a little bit short, but we can just go ahead and electrify it and put power plant queue for it. Tonkin. No. Electrify. Oh, we could electrify if this one had actually had its power plant built, which is in the queue. We'll tack the second one on. I gotta remember we only just annexed that country. 6 will be a little tight. Kind of fit it into the first one while we're waiting for the second one to build. It's plus 75% there because it's hasn't hired all the way up yet. Not because the first one won't get the shortage to go away. Okay. With Bonio, no. Rat. Oh, yes, in rat. Beta. Rasan. The last words? Nope, nope, nope. Okay. The next thing to do is I'm going to build up... Well, apparently we have an iron shortage, so we'll put iron as the stop between where we are and where we're going. And we could use the current consumption 120 mines, so a lot. Sure, we'll do that. That'll be enough. Queued up. Let Q work through that. $2.5 million in welfare, yep. Do want to get the workers hired and working. Yeah, I suppose the next major one we probably want to integrate is Korea. There's floating harbor, so that'll allow us to trade some more. Society tax. It's spreading as Zeppelins right now. Probably just want that production tax, yeah. Nitrogen fixation? Yeah, nitrogen fixation. Breach loaders. Go ahead and upgrade the artillery to that anyway. Yeah, power's a lot more people efficient, a little less construction efficient than it used to be. We're basically even the same construction efficiency we did in the last patch by being the second PM versus the first one. You don't necessarily always want people efficiency either, which is the thing. Okay, let's go ahead. I think we got enough power that the... Well, first of all, electrify the entire motor industry. And electrify... Oh, we have textiles. Or supposed to be like, so we're going to electrify that. There'll be a couple places where there's technically a shortage because we did that, but it'll probably be fine. Glass could probably do with reducing price. And oil looks to be reasonable. Okay. So let's make one less reasonable and make the other one cheaper. Got floating carbon. I need to remember to upgrade trade center mechanism to mass scale trading. So all the trade centers have more capacity to move stuff. Okay, the oil price has mostly come back down. Let's... I think it is time to just bite the bullet. I don't really want to fight the British right now. That'd be expensive. Oh, that's shown up. Of course that's shown up. Well, I think our population growth is going to stay around 2% for some reason. Yeah, I just had mental interrupt us there. What was it doing? Oh, yes. I think it's time we can go ahead and just bite the bullet. Press that button. Oil's expensive, glass is cheap. But not super cheap, apparently. Even with the full conversion there. Okay, I think it's time to work on the next electrification. No, I think I need to get clothing made. 24,000 units of clothing. With the clothing maker on the electric, producing 70 each. So we're gonna have some swap to it as we build it, because people move off of fabric and onto it. Yeah. So let's say that we need 28, because that's gonna make the math easy. So that's gonna be 70 becomes... Oh, and then that's just to cover the trade. Got 24k from trade. We got another 17 from there. Okay, divide that by 70. Yeah, we got some demand for some clothing. It's like 600 clothing textile mill factory levels. Yeah. Yeah. We should build some clothing. This is 10 each. So 6 there. Six there. Ten there. We can get like 3 there. Five. And I'm not even sure this is going to be enough textiles, to be fair. 8 in Fujian. And then Sichuan and Fujian are going to be 10 each. Eastern Hubei is going to be 3. Yeah, I'll put 4 there, it'll be quick. It'll be fine. We'll put 8 there. Okay, we got a queue. The clothing must be made. And that's... if that is actually the real demand, then oh. GDP will be made. And trade will have to move to something else, it's just what'll end up being the case. Plastic production. Plastic is the future. Yeah, plastic is the future. We're not going to give any negative tech progress to the Russians. No. Oh, well, I'm at the point where I need more construction sectors, because the civilians are using up all the construction sectors. Okay. Bigger, better, faster, quicker. Just give me 50 more construction sectors, guys. Nope, that might not be enough. Let's see how quickly, if it's enough after this hires up. It'll probably be enough after this hires up. Maybe not. 5% more market access, that's good. Now let's find our skyscraper location. We'll improve some relations with the British. Yeah, no, I think we still need even more construction. Go for another 50. Oops, it's at the bottom of the queue, not the top of the queue. Not them at the top of the queue. Little by little. To be fair, we've got a little state, so it's maybe not surprising that we can't get up to 10 stuff in it. Army offense. No training capacity for 2 years. Okay, we're gonna do those iron mines real quick. Looks like we'll break a billion GDP soon. Here's nitrogen fixation. So the first step on nitrogen fixation is obviously all the farms are going to be swapped to using the chemical fertilizers. Then tech-wise, let's get combustion engines next. One of the PMs in here, I think, is... I got moved to the different one. There it is. Combustion engine derricks. So one of the PMs in here is the double on the oil fields. Okay, so how is the oil price looking? Little elevated, so might not actually want... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to necessarily swap any of the fuel or any of the chemical plants over. Yet, at least. To consume more oil. I'm not too worried about making more fertilizer to make more grain, because we're making enough grain. There we are, we hit a billion. So I suppose the question is, will we hit 3.7 and match what we did in the previous patch? That is yet to still be seen. More construction. We'll let this construction finish, and then we'll go ahead and put a part break in here. We'll record one more part tonight. But we did break a billion. Question is, can we get up to the 3.7 or higher than we did last time? And I think the answer to there is actually going to be clothing related. Can we sell enough clothing? Can we build enough clothing? Because this is a lot of potential GDP we're basically leaving on the table here with the clothing. We're importing 24,000 clothing. We've got a shortage of 20,000 clothing, even with that import. So yeah, lots of GDP potential right there, just making clothes. Textiles must rise. Okay, so we need to bring shore power plants. Which is right in Guangxi. You need to bring your power plants to the top. It was also Jiangxi as well has some, yeah. Okay. Push those ones to the top for the moment. So we can start solve the power shortage issue. Takes 23 weeks to solve, but oh, it's going to take a pause here. So let's go and hit the part break in. So if you're watching YouTube, there will be a part up for you tomorrow. Where, yeah, we're going to probably be building variations on more and more and more clothes for a little while here. We are going to still work a little bit on more electrification. We've electrified 2 industries. We got a couple different industries that can be electrified. We got explosives can be electrified. The urban can be electrified. Arcades and electric streetlights are electricity-based. There. The railways can be electrified. That's a big one. So we'll start electrifying the railways as well. With the electrified railways, that will help with infrastructure. Provide us more infrastructure. So we don't have to build necessarily more railways. Sawmills can be electrified. We're not having a wood shortage issue, but that might not be a continuing thing as everything builds up. Because arguably, at some point, we're going to want to build furniture. It's not as much demand for furniture as there is for clothing, but, you know, 8,000 furniture is not a trivial amount of furniture, and that's made out of wood. But yeah, so we got things to electrify, and that's mostly what we're going to be working on. There's going to be a little bit of maybe building some oil in there as well. I think that's what we're going to do as the stopgap after the next electrification. I think the next electrification will probably actually be the railways. That's what I'll electrify next. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, part up tomorrow. If you're watching Twitch, I'm going to take a short break to go make a new cup of tea, and I'll be right back with that cup of tea. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.